Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on Charlotte Motor Speedway for 200 laps of racing action. This is going to be a long one tonight, folks. This is part of the Triple Crown races, which are double points and double the length of the normal races. So these drivers are going to really need to save those tires tonight if they want to last all 200 laps. Right now in practice, we see Todd Mays is on the top of the board with a 30.47. 300ths behind him, it's Logan Hagerman. Third is Bobby Mays. Fourth in points is Devin Buccino. And then rounding out your top five, we have Will Witt with a 30.52. So we see a lot of new faces here in the top five in practice. We may see a first-time winner here tonight at Charlotte like we did last week at Circuit of the Americas. Brian Newty won the race at Circuit of the Americas, leading 25 laps, and he started in second. Second place was Cameron Austin. It was a very, very tight finish between those two. Cody Moore took third. Daniel Michel was fourth. And then rounding at your top five was Isaiah Gill. Michael Provost says, I hope everybody had some coffee. Yep, this is going to be a long one, so these drivers are definitely going to need some coffee to keep them up and energized, and definitely they're going to need to use the bathroom before starting this race, because, once again, this is a long one. Currently in the point standings, Cameron Austin is your leader in points. He's got 1 win, 1 pole, 8 top fives, 10 top tens, just an overall fantastic season. We see Brian Newty second in points. He got his first win last week. Third in points is Colin Willem. Fourth is Devin Buccino. And then fifth is Logan Hagerman. But I did notice this, and that's Cameron Austin is not in a session tonight. So if he misses just one race, that's definitely going to hurt him in the point standing. So after this race, Brian Newty should be able to get that point standings lead if he has a good finish, just because Newty is tied with Austin for that point standings lead. We're seeing some drivers get some practice runs in right now. There's Logan Hagerman, Devin Buccino, and Michael Lawrence turning some laps right here. Like I mentioned before, the key tonight will be saving tires. You're going to really want to be careful on those tires so you can last on them as long as you possibly can, because this is a 200-lap event, which I believe for lap count is the longest race of the season. I'm just going to look really quickly. Yes, tonight's event is the longest race of the season, which is fitting because in real life in the NASCAR Cup Series, the Coca-Cola 600, which is also taking place at Charlotte, that race is always the longest race of the season at 600 miles. This race is half of that at 300, but still, that is a lot for a lot of these drivers. There we see Devin Buccino with 10 seconds left to the top of the board here in practice with a 30.42. So he is 500ths faster than second place Todd Mays. Definitely watch out for that 68 of Devin Buccino, as he's got one win this season. That was at Kansas. Kansas very similar to Charlotte, both in the mile-and-a-half range. So we know Devin, he's good at those kinds of tracks. Let's see if he can get another win here tonight at Charlotte. It's now time for our 5-minute qualifying. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. I know the broadcast, it started a little bit earlier. Practice ended a little bit earlier, and qualifying is going to be a little bit shorter in efforts to make sure this race doesn't end too late at like midnight or something. There we see drivers exiting the pits. We're watching Logan Hagerman right now in that 7 machine. Hagerman's had a successful season this season. 1 win and 9 top 10s. And now starting his first lap is Logan Hagerman. Here he goes through 1 and 2. We see Logan looking very, very fast right now. Logan Hagerman's one win this season was at Daytona. So a little bit different than super speedway racing, but both definitely take a lot of skill. We see Gill and Redding on the top of the board with a 30.83. There we see Hagerman jumps to the top of the board with a 30.72. He's a 10th faster than Redding. Definitely watch out for Hagerman. I'm actually going to make Logan Hagerman my dark horse pick to win tonight's event. He always just seems to be there at these kinds of tracks. Hasn't gotten a 1.5 mile win all season long, but he's always in the top 5, top 10. See Buccino to the top of the board with a 30.60. Second place is Brian Nudi with a 30.66. Nudi is 600ths off of Buccino, and they're on his second lap. Hagerman with a 30.53. Great lap time for him. He is 100th faster than second place Devin Buccino. Once again, definitely watch out for that 7 machine. Right now we're watching Brian Merle Jr. He's currently sitting in last on the board with a 31.23. Let's see if he can improve. Yeah, he's able to get to 7th with a 30.82. 3/10 off of first place Logan Hagerman. There's Eddie Morse getting ready to start his first lap time or complete his first lap time. There's Derek Shapoo. Cameron Austin has just joined the session. He gets to 3rd with a 30.63. He's about a 10th off of first place Logan Hagerman. I was wondering if Austin was going to get in because he's the leader in points, and if he missed this race, he would not be the points leader anymore. So Austin looking to try to defend that point standings lead. Watching Nick Mather start his first lap in the Smokes Poutineery machine. He gets to 15th with a 31 flat. So let's see if he can improve on his next lap time. He's still about 5/10 off of Logan Hagerman. And he's only a 10th off of the next car in front of him. That's Dave Wright. And looks like he was pretty much identical with his first lap time because it doesn't move him up or down. We see Derek Shapoo still on track right now. I believe he's completed both of his lap times, and he's just staying out there for a little bit of extra practice time, which, hey, I don't blame him. Charlotte Motor Speedway, a very, very tricky track. So as much practice time as you can get is what these drivers need to take advantage of. In practice is wrapping up here. So it is now time to start your feature event. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 30.533, representing Intensity Racing Team from Canada in the 7. It's Logan Hagerman. Outside of him, it's the Neon Racing number 68 of Devin Buccino. Third is Cameron Austin. In 4th, it's none other than Isaiah Gill. And then rounding out your top 5 is Waxuse Racing number 17 of Colin Willems. In 6th place with Waxuse Racing, it's league owner Brian Nudi. 7th is the Mays Mafia's number 25, Todd Mays. In 8th, it's Neon Racing's Dylan Redding. 9th, with 2 pedals, 1 clutch, it's the 95 of Michael Provolt. And then rounding out your top 10, we have Bobby Mays. And 11th, with YXG Racing, it's the 35 of Will Witt. 12th is Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. And 13th, it's Intensity Broadcasting's own Josh Hall. 14th with the Mays Mafia, it's the old 55 of Kyle Mays. And then rounding out your top 15, it's Dave Wright. And 16th, it's Canada's Nick Mather. 17th will be in Neon Racing's number 37 of Derek Shapoo. 18th is the 6 of Mark Shavers. 19th is Eddie Morris. And then rounding out your top 20, it's 2 pedals, 1 clutches, Zachary Cox. Then in 21st, it's Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in that 47. And then last but not least, we have Cody Moore. I don't know why Cody Moore is starting in the back. I know he was betting a little bit on the Cincinnati versus Alabama game. Cody, a Ohio native, so he was rooting for Cincinnati. They lost, so that may be having something to do with it, him starting in the back. I know we have a couple Alabama drivers in the field, or drivers close to Alabama in the field. That could be why. I'm not sure, though. I know this kind of thing has happened before with drivers betting on sporting events in this league. There we go. I have now put the lap counter. There you see the big 200 laps for these drivers. The longest race of the season. And this is a Triple Crown race, so double the points for tonight's winner and second place and third place. And so on. So we'll see how this goes. Again, Logan Hagerman starting on the bottom. Devin Buccino starting on the top. And then behind them we have Cameron Austin, Isaiah Gill, Colin Willems. 22 cars in the field tonight. Only one can win here at Charlotte. Who will it be? We'll find out in 200 laps. Pace car is in. And green flag is out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There we see Logan Hagerman taking off. He has the nose over Devin Buccino as we're getting ready to enter turn number 1. He still does, and he's getting a good run. See, Devin Buccino running very, very well on that outside. Let's see if he can keep up that momentum. But there we go. We see Logan Hagerman able to get clear. Devin Buccino staying right on the back bumper of that 7 machine. Cameron Austin looking low under the 68 side by side for second. And we see Cameron Austin blinking a little bit. Hopefully that does not pose a problem to any of the drivers around him or to Austin himself. We see Buccino trying to take it to the high side. He was running well up there on turn 1, lap 1. But looks like he's not having as much luck running on that outside. We see Devin Buccino continuing to just try to find any way around that 7 machine. He keeps taking looks up to that high side. And there we see Buccino. He finds a way. He's getting under that number 7 machine for that first place spot. Side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. We see the 68 has the nose over Hagerman. Can he get clear? He does. Devin Buccino is now up to that first place spot, and we're side by side for second between Isaiah Gill and Logan Hagerman. We see Gill with the nose, and he is able to get clear. Isaiah Gill up to second. Last time by, Gill ran the fastest lap from the race with a 30.77. No wonder he has this much momentum right now. We see now Isaiah setting his sights on your first place driver, Devin Buccino. Let's see if he can reel him in. Right now, Gill is just trying to set up the pass at the moment. There we see he's trying to take it to the bottom and try to get down low under the 68. There we see Devin Buccino running his fastest lap time of the race, or the fastest lap time of the entire race for everybody, with a 30.70. But Isaiah Gill catching him very fast here on the back straightaway. Gill trying to take a look down low under that 68. What will the two try to do to get around that 68? Here's a look at the cockpit cam of the two machine. See right now, looks like he's trying to take a look down low under that 68 machine. I do not know if the bottom is the way to go here. And one thing these drivers are going to need to be careful of is burning up those tires. There we see Gill taking a look down low under the 68 again. He's gotten to about the rear quarter panel of that 68, right to about the Level Up Subs logo, but he can't go any further. What is Isaiah Gill going to try to do here? It's looked like so far the outside has been the way to go here at Charlotte. He's been running, most drivers have been running really well on that outside. There we see Isaiah Gill taking a look down low once again under the 68 in turns 1 and 2. But once again, he just can't get a good enough run. Isaiah Gill just continuing to try to find something to get by Buccino, but it's so hard because Buccino's running that high side, and that's preventing Isaiah Gill to make a pass up there because there's no room on that high side. There we see once again Gill trying to take a look down low. He's able to get to the rear quarter panel of that 68. And we are side by side for first here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But once again, no luck for that 2 machine. It has got to be getting frustrating for Mr. Isaiah Gill. And there we go here, getting a great run through turns 3 and 4. Isaiah has the nose. We're side by side as we cross the line. Some tight racing for the lead. Gill with the nose. Can he get a good run off of turn number 2 and finally get clear? He cannot. We see Buccino holding his own on that outside. 2 almost making contact there. I saw Gill was trying to arc his corner. In efforts to try to get a better run off the corner. There we go. He's getting a good run. Almost clear. And he is clear. New leader, Isaiah Gill. He has finally gotten clear of Devin Buccino, but I do not think we've seen the end of that 68. Let's see if he can get back by Isaiah Gill and get back the lead that he had for so far majority of this race. We see Gill starting to extend that gap a little bit. Devin Buccino is staying right there, though. Buccino's under a lot of pressure. He's not only trying to get by Isaiah, but he's got Cameron Austin right on his back bumper. Devin Buccino got to be feeling a little bit nervous looking in that rearview mirror. And we are side by side for second between Cameron Austin and Devin Buccino. We see Austin getting a great run on the bottom in turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get clear Cameron Austin to second. And oh, this is a change of the turn of events here. We have a crazy turn of events. We see a yellow flag is out. So it is now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Funny enough, I actually just had Marco's Pizza tonight for dinner. Got the white cheesy, and also, that's one of their signature pizzas, and peppers, cheese, pineapple, and that was also very, very good. If you're thinking about having some pizza for a pizza night, consider Marco's Pizza. Go check out their website, marcospizza.com. Here's a look at the incident. There we go. Sorry about that. We're getting the replay up. Alright, here we go. So we see some tight racing here on the back stretch. We see Brian getting a great run on the outside. And looks like he just clips the 6 car. I don't know who came up or who came down. We see Shavers had his right side on that seam. Looks like Merle Jr. might have came off the wall a little bit and just clipped Mark. And so that's going to give Mark a ton of damage. Definitely unfortunate for him. So we see pretty much the whole field into the pits except for Logan Hagerman. Isaiah Gill exits the pits first. Then it's Cameron Austin. Then it's Devin Buccino. Then it's Brian Nudie. Then it's Colin Willems. And then it's going to be Cody Moore. So looks like the only driver that stayed out was Logan Hagerman. So Logan Hagerman on a little bit of a different strategy compared to the rest of the field. I am not sure what Hagerman is trying to do here with this strategy. Here's a look at the pit strategy right now. He's on 16 lap tires. If you save your tires well, they shouldn't start getting too bad until about 35 to 40 from the experience of watching these 1.5 mile races. So Hagerman has the right idea. He doesn't need to come in now and waste a set of tires. But if he comes in under green, he's going to lose a ton of track position. So I don't know. Do you want to risk not losing a ton of track position but have fresh tires compared to the rest of the field? That's kind of what Hagerman is dealing with right now, and we will see if it'll work out for him. But Logan, he'll be restarting on the bottom on this next restart on the top. It's Isaiah Gill. Remember, Logan Hagerman is on 18 lap old tires, while the rest of the field is on fresh tires. So let's see how long Hagerman will be able to keep the lead before the fresh tire drivers are going to overtake him for that lead. One driver you got to watch out for is Cody Moore. He's gained 15 spots since the green flag dropped. And Cody Moore, he started in the back. I believe he missed qualifying. He is looking to try. He's been working his way up to the field after starting the back, making some smart passes, good moves, and he's up into the top 10 now. If he wins this race, he'll have gone from worst to first. Be a crazy accomplishment. Pace car is in. Green flag is back. Oh, we see contact between our front row drivers on the restart. That's going to hurt Isaiah Gill, and that helps Logan Hagerman get a great start right there. But we see Cameron Austin sitting right on the back bumper of Logan Hagerman. Let's see what Cameron Austin tries to do here. Remember, Cameron has fresh tires. Logan Hagerman does not, and we'll see right here the advantage of having fresh tires. We see Cameron Austin looking to maybe try to look down low under that 7 machine. Looks like Logan Hagerman is actually starting to extend his lead a little bit over the rest of the field despite being on older tires. There we see, though, Austin getting a big run in turns 1 and 2 off of exit. I'm definitely surprised Hagerman has kept the lead as long as he did, considering the rest of the field has way fresher tires than he does. We see pushes up the track a little bit there. That's going to allow Cameron Austin to get under him. They're side by side coming off of turn number 4. We see Cameron Austin with the nose over second place Logan Hagerman. And can he get a good enough run and get clear? We see Hagerman really holding his own on that outside. That just shows how quick that outside can be here at Charlotte. And there we go. Finally, we see Austin getting a great run here in 3 and 4. Still, Hagerman doing a great job on that outside. Brittany Moore says, "What is this?" This is the SCSRA Xfinity Series. It is a league on the popular motorsport simulation game iRacing. It's been out since 2008, and pretty much drivers, people from all across the world, no matter if they have a race car or not, can just hop on with a wheel and they can ride in NASCAR cars, Indy cars, road course cars, anything they want. And so here at Tennessee Broadcasting, we announce different iRacing leagues. iRacing leagues are just a way for drivers to have fun on, a Wednesday night or Thursday night. So that's just kind of what we do here on Tennessee Broadcasting. We like to broadcast those leagues. So this is an iRacing league on iRacing, and this is the SCSRA Xfinity Series. These are drivers from all across the world, United States and Canada. And we have a lot of good drivers in the field as well. So there you go. That's to answer your question, Brittany. This is iRacing in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Thanks for tuning in to watch the broadcast. Let's take a look at how the field has changed since our restart. We see Cameron Austin is in first. Brian Newty in second. Third is Cody Moore. In fourth place right now, it's Isaiah Gill, and he's currently side by side with fifth place driver. That is Logan Hagerman. I know it can be confusing. iRacing has amazing, fantastic graphics where it looks very, very realistic. So I've had people who've watched my broadcast before tell me, I thought it was real. This is not real. These are virtual cars on a virtual motorsport simulator. So this is not happening right now. Right now, Brian Newty trying to reel in Cameron Austin for that first place spot. Newty getting a great run here on the front stretch. Brian Newty really hasn't led a lap all race. We haven't really said his name too much. He's really gotten fast since the last restart. I think those fresh tires really helped him. He's getting a good run on that 77 machine. Looks like Cameron Austin is extending the gap a little bit over second place driver Brian Nudie. See if Nudie can reel him back in. See Nudie getting a good run on that 77 through turns 3 and 4. Right now, Nudie just can't get a good run. We see Nudie's trying to run that bottom to get around that 77. He just continues to look high. Look low, I don't know. I mean, what's Nudie's plan here? Let's take a look at the cockpit cam. This is exactly what Brian Nudie is seeing on his screen right now. Oh, there you see he pushed up the track a little bit there. Cameron Austin getting down on the apron. Let's see if that maybe hurts him a little bit. Abiana Dixon says, "Go Dad, Nick Mather." Let's see where Nick is at right now. We see Nick Mather currently in that 19th place spot. He hasn't exactly had the race that he has wanted, but if he can get a good run here, he might have a chance to get into the top 5. He's currently reeling in Brian Merle Jr. for that 18th spot, and then not too far ahead of them is Dylan Redding and Eddie Morris. If Nick Mather has a good strategy queued up for a good pit strategy queued up, then definitely watch out for that 16. If he can save tires well as well, definitely expect that 16 to be up front. But he's currently sitting in the 19th spot right now out of 22. We see Devin Buccino trying to reel in Isaiah Gill for that 4th place spot. Buccino at one point was your leader, but after pit stops, he kind of fell behind a little bit. And after our first caution, see if he can catch back up and get back to the lead where he was for a lot of this race. One driver who's having a great night tonight is Mark Shavers. Mark currently sitting in that 7th place spot. He's taking a look down low under Colin Williams for that 6th place spot right now. Side by side, 1 and 2. He is able to get clear. Mark Shavers up to 6th now. Mark Shavers having a fantastic race. Mark Shavers with only 3 top 10s this season and 0 top 5s. If he can get into the top 5, or it'll be his first top 5 of the season. What a race so far for the 6 machine of Mark Shavers. Marco's Pizza and Shavers Nation are currently on their feet right now, as Shavers is reeling in Devin Buccino for that 5th place spot. There we see Shavers taking a look down low under the 68 of Devin Buccino. Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Buccino with the nose over Shavers. But he's able to get back clear. See Shavers getting a good run here in entry of turns 1 and 2. He's taking a look to the bottom of that 68. Side by side on the back stretch between these two. And he is able to get clear Mark Shavers into the top 5 now. If Mark Shavers finishes in the top 5 tonight, it will be his first top 5 of the season. Once again, what a race for Mark Shavers. And right now, Mark Shavers to the back bumper of Isaiah Gill. He is taking a look down low under that 2 machine. Here we see Gill fighting back on that outside. Looks like Gill extending his gap a little bit on Mark Shavers, but Shavers reels him back in here in turns 1 and 2. Getting right up to the back bumper. Once again, we see Shavers taking a look down low. Side by side here through 1 and 2. We see Mark Shavers with the nose. Here we go through turns 3 and 4. Can Shavers shut the door? And he can. Mark Shavers able to get to 4th place now. And Mark Shavers just continuing to have an awesome race. Definitely love to see such an awesome race here tonight for Mark Shavers. And we see Logan Hagerman making a green flag pit stop. I know earlier when the rest of the field came in, Hagerman did not. So he's finally coming in to get his first set of tires. Yep, there we go. So Hagerman now, when he comes out of the pits, he will have the freshest tires out of the entire field. Hopefully that'll help him make his way all the way back up to the field because he has fallen to the last place spot. There we see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence coming in now. It's like he does not have any damage. See, is he getting tires? Yep, he's getting some tires. And there we see Isaiah Gill into the pits now. Uh-oh. Looks like Gill had to tow. Believe he has gotten into an incident. Let's take a look at what happened. So he was running with, Mark Shavers tags the outside wall, slides down and just makes contact with Gill. Straight into the barrels. And then a glitch happens where you get stuck in the barrels. You can't move. That is definitely unfortunate for Isaiah Gill. Was having an awesome race. Right now, field pretty spread out at the moment. Cameron Austin, your leader. He has a 1 second lead over second place, Brian Nudie. Cameron Austin has had such a great season. He's participated in all 12 races this season, and only 2 he did not get a top 10. That just shows how successful he has been this season. Has definitely been the one to beat all season long. Has gotten 1 win. So he's looking to try to get number 2 here tonight at Charlotte. We do see Will Witt reeling in Devin Buccino for that 4th place spot. We see Witt taking a look down low here on the front stretch side by side. Witt getting a great run, and he is able to get clear. Will Witt up to 4th place now. And he's starting to extend his gap now over Devin Buccino. We see Steph Shaw says, let's go Nick Mather. Go Nick Mather. Right now we see Nick is currently sitting in that 17th place spot. Nick hasn't exactly had the run that he has wanted, but he is currently looking to try to get into the top 15 here. He's only 3 seconds behind Dave Wright. And actually, we see 2 cars coming into the pits. So now Nick Mather is into the top 15 now. Nick Mather definitely happy to see Colin and Dave come into the pits, as that's going to put him in the top 15 now. We see Colin Willems, Dave Wright both getting fresh tires. Both of them were definitely in need of some fresh rubber, so they'll definitely be happy about that. They'll have the freshest tires out of the whole field right now, and that should allow them to make their way back up to the field. So far, one of the first drivers to come in to take tires was Logan Hagerman. He is currently sitting in 18th right now. Hasn't gotten his lap back, however. I'm not sure how far away he is from Cameron Austin. See Todd Mays currently battling with Bobby Mays for that 8th place spot. Let's see what Todd can do here. Michael Provolt, the next driver to come in for green flag pit stops. We'll see how well Michael Provolt will do in these new tires now. Kyle Mays coming in now to get fresh tires. But still, Cameron Austin is definitely loving all these drivers coming to the pits because this is just going to allow him to continue to extend that lead. There we go. We see the rest of the Mays boys coming in. Bobby Mays is into the pits. Todd Mays into the pits. Both drivers looking to get some fresh rubber. Question is, how long is Cameron Austin willing to stay out? Here's a look at your current top 5. Cameron Austin sitting in first. Second place is Brian Nudie. In third place right now, we have Cody Moore. Fourth, it is Will Witt. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Mark Shavers. So we do see Zachary Cox reeling in Mark Shavers for that 6th place spot. Zachary also having a great race here tonight. Cox, he does not have any top 10s so far this season, looking to get his first tonight, and he's into the top 5 now. We might see his first top 10 and top 5 here tonight. Zachary having a great race so far. We see Derek Shapoo is into the pits now. Still Cameron Austin continuing to stay out. He has stayed out for 36 laps now. So we're just continuing to see how long is Austin willing to stay out. We see Cox and Shavers continuing to battle. Ooh, we see a top 10 driver coming in. Brian Merle Jr. making his way onto pit road now to get some fresh tires. He'll have the best tires out of the whole field. And look, on fresh tires, Bobby Mays has just ran a 30.58, which is the fastest lap time of the entire race. What a lap time. And there we go. Finally, we see your leader, Cameron Austin, second place driver, Brian Nudie, both coming in. So this will give the lead now to Cody Moore. Looks like Cody Moore's just trying to stay out as long as he possibly can. You got to be thinking now is the time for your leaders to come in to take advantage of the track position that they have. And they'll have the best tires out of the whole field. There we go. Yes. Oh, no! Heading into the pits, we see Cody Moore was spinning. He was sideways as he crossed the line. I hope that Moore does not have a speeding penalty. Mark Shavers into the pits now. Zachary Cox is into the pits. So we see Will Witt is one of the last drivers that is yet to come in. He is really trying to stay out as long as he possibly can. And yep, there we go. We see Will Witt coming in now. And he should sacrifice the lead to Eddie Morris unless he can come in and come out and stay and still have the lead. Yes, we see Eddie Morris coming in too now. And it's looking like now after all the cycle has all gone through, Logan Hagerman has the lead again. It's now looking like Hagerman's strategy is really starting to pay off. On our first caution, we saw the whole field came in. We didn't just see, 7 or 8 other drivers stay out. The whole field, except for Hagerman, came into the pits. So Hagerman stayed out, and he ran on track a little bit. Then he was the first driver to make green flag pit stops, and after that, he has inherited the lead. He's got a 4-second lead over second-place Colin Williams. Speaking of second-place Colin Williams, with a battle for second right now between Colin Williams and Cameron Austin. There we see Austin taking a look down low under Williams as we head off of turn number 2. And he is able to get clear. Second place, Cameron Austin is now in the second place spot. See Michael Provolt looking to try to get that 12th place spot from Zachary Cox. Zachary just ran his fastest lap time of the race with a 30.81. And once again, like I said before, Zachary Cox having a great race here tonight. He's definitely on pace for a top 10, which would be his first of the season. See Dave Wright reeling in Kyle Mays for that 9th place spot. See what Dave can do here. We see Dave getting a big run on the front stretch. And we see also Will Witt taking a look down low under Dave Wright. And Zachary Cox is there as well. Both of them taking a look down low under the 84. Will Witt able to get clear. Isaiah Gill having a ton of issues. Looks like he is coming back into the pits. It was very unfortunate. Isaiah Gill was running up front and he got involved in an incident where another driver, Mark Shavers, bounced off the wall and came down into Isaiah Gill, and that has pretty much taken Gill out of tonight's event. We see Logan Hagerman has now, while we are looking at all that, he has lost the lead to Cameron Austin and Brian Nudie. And I know these two do have fresher tires compared to Hagerman. Hagerman is on 22-lap tires. They are on 7-lap tires, so it makes sense as why they were able to get by them. But we see Austin right now, and we see Mark Shavers coming into the pits now. This seems to be unscheduled. I do not know what happened to Shavers. Looks like he's taking tires, but that's just gonna put him. It's definitely unscheduled. I don't know what happened to Shavers. He must have had maybe a little bit of damage. I don't know. See Brian Nudie reeling in Cameron Austin for that first place spot. Let's see what Nudie can do here. See Cassie Williams says, "Let's go, Colin," In Mather, we see Colin Williams having a fantastic race, currently running in the top 5, sitting at 4th place spot. He just have Cody Moore reeling him in, but we will see if that 17 can hold him off. Nick Mather currently sitting in the 19th place spot. Mather definitely hasn't had the race that he has wanted. Hasn't really been... Let's see, the farthest up I think he got was around 11th or 10th, and that was during green flag pit stops. Hopefully, Mather can turn the race around and get back up there into the top 15. Right now, though, we see Nick Mather currently sitting a lap down. But definitely, Colin Williams having a great race, looking to get a top 5 run here tonight. Maybe even a win. We see Brian Newdy reeling in Cameron Austin on the front stretch. Newdy. And then we see another unscheduled pit stop for Mark Shavers. I am not sure what's going on with the number 6 Marco's Pizza Machine, but he is definitely having some car issues. See, Derek Shapoo also looks like to be making an unscheduled pit stop. He also seems to be having some issues. We see Brian Newdy continuing to try to get by Cameron Austin. Right now he's just trying to set up that pass on the 77 machine. See Brian Newdy trying to take a look down low under that 77 machine. Looks like Cameron Austin extending his gap a little bit over Brian Newdy. This battle right now for the lead is kind of giving me a little bit of deja vu from last week's event at Circuit of the Americas. We had a very, very close finish between these two. It was a photo finish at the end. Brian Newdy won the race, but if it had been one more lap, I do think Cameron Austin probably would have gotten the win. So this time, Austin is looking to come out on the other end of these two and come out on top and get his second win of the season. Both drivers, first and second, Austin and Newdy, are both looking for their second win of the season. Brian Newdy taking a look down low under Austin here on the backstretch, but we see, I think Newdy's looking to maybe try to use Morris as a pick to get around the 77. We see Newdy taking a look to the high side, now maybe looking to try to look that back down low. And there we go. Looks like there looked like Eddie Morse was like blocking Newdy or something. Morse definitely putting up a fight. Yeah, something is definitely wrong with Mark Shavers. He has been sitting in the pits now for over 2 minutes. And looking through everything, does not look like Shavers had really gotten into any wrecks. But I don't know. I could be wrong. He might be having some connection issues. Who knows? We see Cameron Austin continuing to extend that gap in the lead over Brian Nudie. There we go. We see Nudie reeling in Cameron Austin here on the backstretch. I don't know. What is Nudie going to try to do here? Here's a look at the cockpit cam from Nudie's perspective. And I do want to quickly take a look at here's your current top 5. See Cameron Austin currently sitting in first. Brian Nudie is in second. Third place, we have the 52 of Cody Moore. Fourth is Devin Buchanel. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Bobby Mays. Nudie getting right up there to Cameron Austin, looking to try to make a pass. Let's see what Nudie tries to do here. Nudie getting right there. Really just trying to set up the pass right now, but we see Austin doing a great job on that defensive line, and here we go. The pit cycle starts again. Logan Hagerman coming into the pits to get fresh tires. Last time he was the first driver to come in. This time he is again. And he was able to lead for a little bit. But hopefully he can have the lead for a little bit longer this time, this strategy. Question is, how long is Cameron Austin and Brian Nudie willing to stay out? Last time they stayed out for 38 laps. And let's see, right now they're at 24, so they still have more than 10 laps to go before they meet how long they stayed out last time. See Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence also coming in to the pits to get some fresh tires. Once again, Cameron Austin extending his lead a little bit over Brian Nudie. Oh, we see Cameron Austin reeling in, or Brian Nudie reeling in Cameron Austin here in turns 3 and 4. Nudie looking high, looking low, just trying to set up that pass. Looks like he may be just trying to take it to the high side. I don't know. We'll see what happens here with Nudie. We see Brian Nudie reeling back in at Cameron Austin for that first place spot. And here we see Kyle Mays coming in now into the pits, getting some fresh tires on that 55 machine. There we see Brian Newty taking a look down low, trying to get under that 77 machine. Newty has really struggled to get by that 77. He's been stuck behind him for quite some time. We'll see when Newty gets by him. I don't know. Brian Newty just continuing to he needs to find something to get by that 77 machine. Once again, Cameron Austin extending his gap over second place Brian Newty. Colin Willems coming in now. He's one of the first drivers in the top 10 to come in now. So he's going to get some fresh tires on that 17 machine. We see Brian Newty just continuing to try to set up that pass on Cameron Austin. It has got to be getting frustrating for that 40 machine. We see Bobby Mays is into the pits now, getting some fresh tires. Todd Mays in as well. Both Mays boys coming in. All three of them have came in now. We still see Austin stayed out 38 laps last time, and we are currently at lap number 32 in the pit cycle. So still about 6 more laps before we see your leaders, Austin and Newty, coming. It's going to be exciting to watch these two come in, because whoever exits the pits first most likely will have the lead. I know the driver who stayed out the longest last time was Will Witt, who stayed out for 40 laps. He has 10 more laps to go before he hits that. We see third place driver Cody Moore coming in now. And Devin Buccino coming in behind him. Logan Hagerman back into the top 10. I know Hagerman is running that short pitch strategy. And so far it's worked out for him pretty well. He's led a lot of laps here. And right now he's just looking to try to work his way back up through the field. See Austin just continuing to try to extend that gap over Brian Newty. Seems like right before Austin starts to get away from Newty, Newty reels him back in. There we see Nick Mather coming in now to get some fresh tires. There's currently really only 5 drivers that need to come in. That's Cameron Austin, Brian Newty, Will Witt, Zachary Cox, and I was about to say Brian Merle Jr., but he's coming in now. And there we go. Second place driver, Brian Newty, is coming in. He's trying to come in a little bit earlier than Austin to try to get an advantage over him. So right now, Cameron Austin has a big lead, but he is coming in now into the pits. So this should most likely give the lead now to Will Witt. Yes, it does. Will Witt now is your leader. He stayed out the longest out of everyone in the entire field last time, and that's looking to be the case here again. Here comes Logan Hagerman looking to try to get his lap back. Looks like Hagerman didn't exactly have the pit cycle that he had wanted, as it looks like Cody Moore is going to come out ahead of him on this pit cycle. It actually looks like Nudie is going to come out ahead of Cody Moore on this pit cycle as well. There we go. We see Zachary Cox coming in now. So that means the last driver to come in will be Will Witt. The question is when. Will stayed out for 40 laps last time. We're still 4 away from that. See Cody Moore reeling in Brian Nudie for that third place spot. This is the battle for first pretty much, since Will Witt still needs to come in. If Will Witt comes in right now, there could still be a chance that he'll come in and out and still keep the lead. Yep, he's coming in right now. Let's see if he is able to come in and come out and keep that lead. See Eddie Moore's coming in behind him. Nope, it looks like Brian Nudie ends up winning this pit cycle. He will inherit the lead from Will Witt. Great job for Brian Nudie. He came in before Cameron Austin, and that ended up securing him that lead. And he's very, very fast. Right now, field pretty spread out right now as the green flag pit stops really has just spread out the field. We're nearing the halfway point and also 100 laps to go. These drivers are really just focusing on keeping their cars clean for the end. You don't want to wreck out right now because it'll really, really hurt you for the rest of the race. See Zachary Cox able to get by Todd Mays for 11th. Once again, Zachary having a great night tonight. Once again, if Zachary can finish in the top 10 here tonight, this will be his first top 10 of the season. What a great race here for Zachary Cox. Logan Hagerman, or Bobby Mays currently reeling Logan Hagerman for that 4th place spot. Mays with fresher tires in that 7 machine. It's no wonder he's getting a good run on the bottom. He is able to get clear Bobby Mays to 4th now. So right now, Brian Nudie with a 1-second lead over 2nd place Cody Moore, and Cody Moore has older tires than Nudie. Nudie definitely looking pretty smart with his pit strategy. And right now, we're actually hitting the halfway point, so we are going to turn up the volume, and you will get to hear the sounds and sights of the racetrack. So here we go. Welcome back. That was Pump Up the Intensity for you. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing the sounds and sights of the racetrack. Got some up close and personal action with some of these Xfinity cars. See, right now, not a lot of battles on the track. We currently see Colin Williams trying to reel in Will Witt for that 7th place spot. Well, there we see Will starting to extend the gap a little bit. Will Witt is actually getting a big run on Devin Buccino for that 6th place spot. Yeah, here he comes, the 35, getting a great run. He's taking a look down low on the backstretch under that 68. And he is able to get clear. Will Witt to 6th place now. We do see Logan Hagerman currently trying to looks like he just got passed by Will Witt as well. Will Witt looking very, very fast right now. Watch out for that 35 machine. I know Will he's on a little bit of a different pitch strategy compared to everybody else. And Will, he has the freshest tires out of the entire field. That's kind of the advantage of being the last driver to come in, is you have the freshest tires out of the entire field. So let's see if he can use that to his advantage by reeling in your first place driver, Brian Nudi. It's going to take a lot. Currently, it's about 17 seconds between first place and 5th place, around that, roughly. So let's see if Will Witt can reel that in. And let's take a look at your current top 5 right now. See Brian Nudi currently sitting in 1st. Cameron Austin P2. In 3rd, it's that Brant Professional Agriculture machine of Cody Moore. In 4th, we have Bobby Mays, and then rounding out your top 5, it's the Bass Pro Shops mobile of Will Witt. Corley Mather says, let's go Nick and Colin. Let's see, right now, Colin Williams says he's had a great race here tonight, having a good top 10 run, currently sitting in 8th and trying to reel in Devin Buccino for 7th. Has just been really smooth, really consistent, and just has had a good run. Nick Mather definitely hasn't had the race that he has wanted here tonight. He is currently sitting a couple laps down, he's currently sitting 1 lap down. And I don't know if he will be able to get that lap back. He's just had a really rough race here, but that still does not mean he can make up some of these positions. And he's actually currently reeling in Dave Wright, looking to get into the top 5. He has taken a look to the high side. And I just saw Michael Lawrence go through the grass, and I'm not sure why. That was wild right there. We do see Logan Hagerman reeling in Devin Buccino for that 6th place spot. Hagerman trying to reel him in. Right now, the field is just getting really spread out right now. Brian Nudi with a 6/10 lead over Cameron Austin. I will say this, Cameron Austin does have a little bit fresher tires compared to Nudi because he came in later. So that could give Austin a little bit of an advantage here. We'll see if that becomes a factor. Talk about some of our biggest movers and followers from tonight's event. First of all, definitely our biggest tough break of the night belongs to Isaiah Gill. Isaiah Gill was running up in 4th place when Mark Schaefer's bounced off the wall and came down the track into the 2, which sent him straight into the barrels. That ended up wrecking the 2 machine of Gill out of the race, and he has not returned. And he definitely had a top 5 car, so that was unfortunate for Isaiah Gill. We see Logan Hagerman. He is now starting the pit cycle once again. First driver to come in, like he has been for a lot of these pit cycles. The strategy so far hasn't really worked out too well for Hagerman as being the only driver to stay out, because being that only driver to stay out on the yellow flag, because he has way older tires compared to everybody else once it's all said and done. And so he just loses lots of positions. But let's see if this strategy can really work in Hagerman's favor. Probably our biggest mover of the race definitely has to go to Cody Moore. Cody started in the back of tonight's event, and he quickly moved his way up through the field, and he is currently sitting in the top 3. Cody Moore wins tonight. He will have gone from worst to first. That's definitely an impressive accomplishment for that 52, but even a top 5 would be very, very impressive considering he had to start in the back. So shout out to Cody Moore for just having a fantastic race after having a qualifying run that just wasn't so fantastic, because he missed qualifying. See Kyle Mays coming into the pits now. This is big, as this should signal a lot of the top 10 drivers to start making their way onto pit road. We see your front runner, Brian Nudie. His last green flag stint was 36 laps. He's currently sitting at 29. So less than 10 laps to go before Nudie comes in. We should start seeing a ton of drivers make their way onto pit road here coming up shortly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody has anything for Nudie right now. He's just been so successful after this last green flag pit stop. He had a good strategy coming in before your leader, Austin. You see Todd Mays coming into the pits. I will say we might see this next green flag pit stop if Austin tries to pull something to try to get ahead of Brian Nudie. I do have a huge announcement to make tonight. It was our goal to hit 2,000 followers on Facebook by our 2-year anniversary in April, and thanks to each and every one of you, we have already hit that goal, and it is January. We can't thank you enough for your support of Intensity Broadcasting, but I hope you know just how much it is appreciated. Intensity Broadcasting was created at the beginning of the pandemic. We couldn't watch or attend live racing events. iRacing was the only connection to the sport that all of us in Intensity Broadcasting love. While we never imagined it would grow to this point, we are extremely grateful for what it has turned into and for letting us do what we love. So thank you for allowing us to get to 2,000 followers. A look back here at the racing action. Colin Willems gets to 8th. He's into the pits right now. Dylan Redding into the pits. Bobby May's coming in. Question is, how much longer will it be until we see Nudie makes his way onto pit road? Nudie has only 2 more laps before he reaches his stint length from last green flag pit stop. Let's see if he can do it here. Third place driver Cody Moore making his way onto pit road. But still, Cameron Austin has reeled in Brian Nudie. He's starting to reel him in here in turns 3 and 4. Let's see what Austin can do here. Cameron Austin trying to take a look high above Brian Nudie. We know that high side has been very successful throughout tonight. And there we go. We see Nudie once again pitting before Austin to try to get an advantage over him. He is coming in now. Let's see if Nudie has a successful pit stop. With him coming in, this will give the lead down to Cameron Austin. Last time we had our green flag pit stops, Austin stayed out 37 laps. He's currently sitting at 35 right now. How much longer is Austin willing to stay out? His tires have got to be feeling pretty bad right now. Right now we see only 2 cars on the lead lap. That's Cameron Austin and Will Witt. And there we go. We see finally Cameron Austin coming into the pits. So this should give the lead now to Will Witt. Although I'm not sure if Witt will be able to take the lead here. There we go. We see Witt getting a good run. And there he is. He is able to take the lead now. Will Witt, your new leader. For a lot of these green flag pit stops, he has been the last driver to come in. Let's see, last time Will Witt stayed out for 38 laps. He's got 3 more to go until he hits that goal. He has a 18-second lead over Brian Nudie right now. See what Witt tries to do here. Will he come in this time by? He does not, continuing to stay out. There we go. We see Will Witt finally coming into the pits. Question is, will he able to make it in and make it out without losing the lead? Does not look like that's the case. So after it is all said and done, once again, Nudie wins this pit cycle. He has the lead now. We do have a battle for that 6th place spot. Colin Willems trying to reel in Bobby Mays. Looks like Mays extends that gap. Willems coming back, though. Getting a good run off of turn number 4. Looks like Mays was able to extend that gap over Willems. Willems coming back here in 3 and 4, getting a great run off at turn number 4. Looks like Willems has a lot of good corner exit speed. He's reeling in Mays fast, getting right up to that back bumper. He kind of used the 37 of Derek Shapoo as a pick there. We see Will Witt taking a look down low under Kyle Mays. He is able to get clear and up to that 8th spot now. Colin Willems continuing to try to reel in Bobby Mays for that 5th place spot. It's kind of cool, though, that the number 5 is in position number 5. But Willems is reeling in Mays fast here. Todd Mays trying to reel in Zachary Cox for that 10th place spot. Mays running that bottom, trying to get under that 51 machine. There we go. We see Todd Mays take a look down low under Cox. And there we go. He is able to get clear Todd Mays into the top 10 right now. That's going to knock Zachary Cox out of the top 10. I know Zachary was having an awesome race, probably one of his best races of the season, looking to try to get his first top 10, but he's been knocked out of the top 10 now. Colin Willems continuing to try to reel in Bobby Mays for that 5th place spot. Right now, just the field very, very spread out right now. Brian Newty with a 6-second lead over 2nd place Cody Moore. What a dominant performance for Brian Newty. He's done very well in both of our green flag pit stops. Was able to pit before the 2nd place driver and ends up coming out on top both times. And right now, 2nd place driver Cody Moore, he has older tires than Newty. So this should be good for Brian. Colin Willems reeling in Bobby Mays, continuing to try to reel him in for that 5th place spot. Willems just having no luck. And reeling in that 5 machine. I have noticed here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, it is very, very hard to pass. Here we see Willems trying to take a look down low and trying to get under that 5 machine. We might see him try to use Lawrence as a pick here. He cannot. And there we go, side by side for that 5th place spot. Colin Williams getting a great run on the bottom here through turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get clear Colin Williams up to 5th place now. Bobby Mays not letting Williams get away, though, but we do see Williams extending that gap, and he is able to get clear of Bobby Mays. What a fantastic performance once again for Brian Newty. He's just had an awesome pit strategy, and right now he was able to come out on top both pit cycles, the past 2. And right now, 2nd place driver Cody Moore, who's 7 seconds behind, he has older tires than Newty, so that just helps Brian even more. If Newty can keep it up, he will get his 2nd win of the season. And if Newty wins here tonight, he will get 2 wins in a row, because Brian Newty won last week at Circuit of the Americas. There we see Will Witt able to get by Bobby Mays for that 6th place spot. Bobby starting to lose a little bit of ground right now. We see Will starting to reel in Colin Williams for that 5th place spot. We know Will has the freshest tires out of the entire field. And he is reeling in Williams fast. Taking a look down low under that 17 machine. Side by side between these two, he is able to get clear into that 5th place spot now. And he's also reeling in Hagerman for 4th. Side by side. And he is able to get clear Will Witt to 4th now. There we see Williams taking a look down low under Hagerman as well. This is for that 5th place spot. Looks like Hagerman running very, very well on that outside line. He's really holding his own up there. They continue to stay side by side. See Hagerman doing well, fighting back on that outside. These two running very, very good side by side. There we go. We see Colin Williams officially able to get clear. Look back at your leader, Brian Newty, who now his lead is up to 9 seconds over 2nd place, Cody Moore. What a dominant performance once again for Brian Newty. These past 2 green flag pit stops have just been absolutely incredible. His strategy is very well thought out, because when he comes in, although everybody will come, he'll come out a little bit farther behind. He'll have fresher tires compared to everybody. So then once everybody, or if he comes out earlier, or let's see, Moore came in before him. So he has older tires compared to Newty. Bobby Mays reeling in Logan Hagerman for that 6th place spot. Hagerman really falling behind right now. We see Bobby taking a look to that high side. There we go. We see Bobby Mays now take a look down low under Hagerman for that 6th place spot. Side by side coming off of turn number 4. Ooh, can he get clear? He does. Bobby Mays to that 6th place spot now. We do see Will Witt reeling in Cameron Austin for that 3rd place spot. Will looking very, very fast right now. Looks like Will's looking to try to take a look down low under the 77. Once again, field spread out. Brian Nudie now with a 10-second lead. And there, look at this. Logan Hagerman coming into the pits now. He is going to start the pit cycle once again as the first driver to come in. Right now we see Nudie sitting at 28 laps for his stint length. Last pit cycle stint length was 36 laps. So got less than 10 laps to go now for Nudie to come into the pits. And this should be the last time these drivers need to come in. I would assume so. Devin Buccino reeling in Bobby Mays for the 6th place spot. There we go. We see Buccino taking a look down low, side by side between the two. We see Buccino taking a look down low under Mays on the front stretch. Able to get to that rear quarter panel side by side in 1 and 2. And we actually see leader Brian Nudie coming in. When Brian Nudie puts these two down a lap, there will only be 5 cars on the lead lap. That just shows how dominant of a performance Brian Nudie has had here tonight. Four laps to go until Brian Nudie will make his final pit stop for tonight. See Zachary Cox coming in. See Kyle Mays coming in as well. But still, Brian Nudie continuing to stay out. And we see Todd Mays coming in right now. Still, probably the most impressive driver in the field tonight has been Cody Moore. After starting in the back of the field, he has worked his way up to the field, all the way up from the back of the pack, all the way up to second. And if he gets one more spot, he'll be up to first. And if he wins, that will be a worst to first for that 52 machine, which is absolutely incredible. See Michael Provolt, Nick Mather coming in now. 2 more laps before Nudie reaches his stint length. We see Colin Willems is in now. Dylan Redding is in now. Right now, Nudie's goal is to try to beat Cody into the pits. See, Buccino is in. Bobby Mays is in. There are really only 4 cars that still need to come in. And that's Brian Nudie, Cody Moore, Will Witt, and Cameron Austin. And there we go. We see Cody Moore, the first of the top 5 to come in. So he'll have the most track position out of these 4 drivers, but he won't have the freshest tires, which could come to hurt him. See Brian Nudie coming in now. And it's looking like maybe Nudie will be able to come in and come out and keep that lead. Nope, looks like Will Witt has now taken the lead away from Brian Nudie. We know Will Witt likes to run the car out as long as it possibly can. And it's looking like he's going to do the same thing here. Which is definitely not a bad strategy for that 35. And then, because he'll have the freshest tires at the end. There you see he's coming in. But actually, looks like Cameron Austin is staying out in the longest that he possibly can. Well, no, he's still not there yet. See Austin coming in now. So once again, Nudie is going to make it by them, and he is going to win the pit cycle. Brian Nudie with a great strategy here at Charlotte. He may have just secured himself the win here. Do you see Bobby Mays continuing to try to get by Devin Buccino for that 6th place spot? Mays taking a look to the high side, maybe trying to find some speed up there. High side has definitely worked here at Charlotte. See if maybe Mays can make it work. Yeah, there we go. We see he's taking it up there to the wall. Colin Willems looking to try to get by Will Witt for that 3rd place spot. Will Witt actually literally just exited the pits. So let's see if Willems can make it by here. See Crank Franklin says, Atlee, hello. Hey, Craig. Thanks for tuning in to watch the broadcast here tonight. We've got less than 50 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brian Nudie with the lead, and he's got a big lead over 2nd place driver Cody Moore. 11 seconds. He's just had a dominating race here tonight. Has had an awesome pit strategy. And that's what that pit strategy is really just has what's kept them in the lead. There has definitely been faster drivers. Cody Moore has been fast. Bobby Mays has been fast. But that pit strategy just allows Nudie to get up front. And Nudie's definitely been fast as well. 30.66 is his fastest lap time. But there have definitely been other faster cars here tonight. It's just that pit strategy has really just set Nudie apart. Yes, make sure to check out our merchandise store at IntensityBroadcasting.com. We have merchandise from your favorite broadcaster in all the amazing leagues that we broadcast. We have shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads, stickers, and so much more. So make sure, once again, check out our merchandise website, intensitybroadcasting.com. We've got shirts, mugs, and hats and mouse pads with Intensity Broadcasting's logo on it, and we have some other stuff with SCSRA logos on it. So if you're a big SCSRA fan shirt and you want a shirt or a sticker or maybe a poster to show your love for the league, then make sure to go purchase one at intensitybroadcasting.com. And I'm going to put the link to the website in the chat so you can go and visit it. I will say there are some pretty cool t-shirt designs on there, and we're always open to suggestions for new items as well. So if there's an item that you don't see in the shop but that you want and you think that would be cool, then make sure to definitely message us and we can get it added to the shop. We already have some ideas for some new merch that will get added for the future, so make sure to check back often to the Intensity Broadcasting store to see if any new items get added. Right now, we see Brian Newty sitting with an 11-second lead over second place Cody Moore. Once again, just what a dominant performance for Brian Newty. He's just had such a great pit strategy, and that's really what's put him out in front over second place Cody Moore. We do see, though, a battle for fifth beginning to brew. Cameron Austin reeling in Bobby Mays. I know we already told you about the big news about Facebook followers, but we need your help to reach our subscriber goal of 1,000 on YouTube. Even if you already follow us on Facebook, please go to YouTube and subscribe there as well, because it really helps us, the leagues, and all of the sponsors. Thank you. I think we're around 574, so we still have about 500 subscribers to go before, or it's actually getting closer to around 400 subscribers before we hit 1,000. But I think we can reach that goal as a community, so make sure to go and subscribe. Now we do have a few viewers on, we have 10 viewers on YouTube here tonight, which is the most out of all platforms to shout out. So shout out to everybody watching us on YouTube tonight. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in on YouTube. We have just hit 25 laps to go. Cameron Austin taking a look down low under Colin Willems for that fourth place spot. Austin with the nose. He is able to get a good run and get clear. Cameron Austin to fourth, but he is the first car down a lap, so it'll take him a while before he gets to that third place spot. We'll say there are only 3 cars on the lead lap right now. That just shows how much of a dominating performance Newty has had. Once again, I mean, it's really been all about the pit stops for that 40 machine. It's just been really, really successful. Has had a good strategy, and we'll have to ask him about, what was the thought process about it after the race. So far, our biggest move of the race has been Cody Moore. Cody Moore started in the back after missing qualifying, and he has quickly been able to work his way up to the field. It's just been really smooth. Has been able to make some good passes. It's just really kept it clean, and here he is sitting in second place spot looking to try to get a win here. Definitely the biggest tough break, though, goes to Isaiah Gill. Isaiah was sitting in fourth, having a great race, and then we saw Mark Shavers tag the wall, came down the track, and made contact with Gill, and that sent Gill into the barrels, where he got stuck into the barrels and couldn't get off of the barrels, so he had to tow, and then after that, he really just couldn't make his way back up to the field, and so he ended up manually disconnecting. So that was definitely unfortunate for Isaiah Gill. See Bobby May starting to reel in Colin Williams for that 5th place spot. Let's see what Mays tries to do here to get by that 17. Bobby has been the best out of all of the Mays boys here tonight. Has had a very successful race, and Bobby actually has the fastest lap time of tonight's event. He's looking to try to use that momentum to get into the top 5. Man, it has been a long race here tonight. I know a lot of the drivers are starting to get a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued from staring at a screen for so long. I know it's been an hour and 45 minutes since the green flag dropped. These drivers' eyes have got to be getting really, really tired. I would have fallen asleep by now. But still, these drivers have 19 more laps to go. So these drivers just need to continue to push through. This race has really been, it's not only been about what's going on track with pit strategy and tire saving, but it's also been a lot about the endurance of these drivers. I mean, sitting at a screen for an hour and 41 minutes and using your arms and legs can definitely be very, very tiring, especially on your eyes. That's probably what it's the worst for these drivers. These drivers' eyes have got to be getting really, really tired, but these drivers just need to continue to push through for 18 more laps. We see Bobby Mays taking a look to the high side above Colin Williams. Let's see if he can get a good run on that outside to get by that number 5 machine. And I will say this, tonight's event is the longest race of the season here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. And it's fitting that it is at Charlotte because in real life, the longest race of the NASCAR season is at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the Coca-Cola 600. Bobby Mays continuing to try to set up that pass on Colin Williams. Let's see what he can do here. See, Bobby Mays maybe looking to try to take it to the high side above Colin Williams. See, still, Mays trying to set up the pass there. We see he's taking a look down low under Colin Williams. Yeah, man, I don't know what Mays is going to try to do here, and even if he can get by Williams, both drivers will still be down a lap as there are only 3 cars on the lead lap. Brian Nudie, Cody Moore, and Will Witt. Looks like YXU Racing knows something that the rest of these drivers don't because there are only 3 drivers on the lead lap. All 3 of them are YXU Racing drivers. So all of the YXU drivers must have had a very good strategy. We do see Dylan Redding coming into the pits. That is interesting. He is way off of his last stint length. That's definitely unscheduled. Must have maybe had some damage or something. Still, we see Bobby Mays trying to get up there to Colin Williams. Let's see what he can do. We saw some drivers tagging the walls there. These drivers' tires have to be starting to get a little bit rough. They've only been out for 26 laps. Average stint length is 37. These drivers will be hitting their stint length right when the race ends. See Bobby Mays just trying to find any speed to get by Colin Willems here. Let's take a look at the cockpit cam from Bobby Mays' perspective. Yeah, the field is pretty much spread out right now. I don't know what to say. I mean, Brian Newty, 13 seconds over Cody Moore. We're really having to dig into our blowout material here tonight, because it really has been a blowout for Brian Newty. If Newty wins this tonight's event, which is looking like that's going to happen, this will be his second win of the season, and he will have won 2 races in a row. Looks like late season Newty. I mean, Newty really needs to be called late season Newty, because this late in this regular season, he is really coming strong. I do want to mention, here's a look at the current point standings right now with the chase. I forgot to mention, so that it's going to be a 12-car playoff, and right now the 8 drivers that are locked in are Cody Moore, Cameron Austin, Brian Newty, Colin Willems, Devin Buccino, Logan Hagerman, Joe Wright, and Isaiah Gill, and all of them are locked in because they all have wins. Now the rest of the field are going to have to get in by points. So, right now, sitting on the bubble is Kyle Mays, Bobby Mays, Nick Mather, and Michael Provolt. And then the drivers that are on the bubble are Derek Shapoo, Brian Moore Jr., and Josh Hall. Now, Derek Shapoo's had another rough race tonight, so it's looking like your top 12 is going to stay the same for now, and Provolt is going to have that final spot. I will say, though, I believe that since Joe Wright missed tonight's event, he will be ineligible for the playoffs because he missed 3 events, despite having a win, because he did not participate in enough races. So that could change some things in the standings. 5 laps to go now, 4 for Brian Newty to secure his victory. What a great race that 40 machine has had. Has absolutely dominated tonight's 200 lap event. Three laps to go now for Brian Newty. He's got a 13-second lead over Cody Moore. He's not home free yet, but it's looking good for that 40 machine. I know Nudie Nation is on their feet right now. The fans in the stands are getting excited. Because once again, if Brian Nudie wins tonight's event, that will be 2 in a row for number 40. I know Brian Nudie representing Bullet Bourbon. I know the Bullet Bourbon fans are definitely happy for Nudie. And here we go. 1 lap to go. Nudie Nation is on their feet. 14-second lead over Cody Moore. It's looking pretty good for Brian Nudie. As long as he doesn't make a big mistake, he's pretty much got it. Here we go. See, Brian Nudie wins tonight's event here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Absolutely dominated tonight's event with a, let's take a look, once Cody Moore crosses the line, what the finishing gap was. It was 16 seconds. That's incredible. Brian Nudie, 2 wins in a row here. There we go. There was a good burnout for that 40 machine. He manually disconnects there. So we're waiting for your top 3 to hop into the waiting room. Let's see. We're waiting for your 3rd place finisher, Will Witt, to hop in to the waiting room. Looks like we're still waiting for your top 3 to get into the waiting room for the interview. There we go. We got your 3rd place finisher, Will Witt, into the waiting room. Let's go ahead and pull him in. Will Witt, this is Atlee in the Intensity Broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started in that 11th spot. You're running in the top 10 for a lot of this race. You had a good strategy where you were the pretty much most green flag pit stops. You were the last car to come in, which means that after everything was said and done, you would have the freshest tires out of the whole field. You know, that would allow you to work your way up through the field and that just help you get that 3rd place finish. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, it definitely helped the first few stints, gaining that time back, at the end of the run. That last stint, though, I had to come in at that normal time because Nudie closed so much distance on me that, he was within 3 seconds of me when I came out. So I had a short pit that last one, but it worked out, and I was able to come home 3rd.
Now, how did the setup feel tonight? I know a lot of times the setup is key to a good or bad race here tonight. I mean, how did it feel?
It felt pretty good, actually. If you were able to drive it right, kind of back up the entries, you could keep the car a little loose through the run. You could definitely overcook the right front. I know if you guys had that issue, but yeah, if you kept it balanced right and you were able to kind of back up your entries, you could definitely keep it loose through the run and make it feel good.
Got you. Well, before we let you go, Will, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
Oh, first and foremost, I got to thank everybody over at YXU, Colin, Nick, Brian, Cody. I know Isaiah was there too. So all them guys helped me with strategy. Uh, I got to shout out Mick. I know he watches. My friend Kyle watches. My girlfriend for letting me do this stupid hobby week in and week out. And everybody around the league for putting this on. This was a fun race.
It was definitely a fun race to watch here up in the booth. So, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight, Will. Have a great rest of your night.
Hey, thanks, you too.
Yep, no problem. Let's pull in now your second place finisher from Cincinnati, Ohio, Cody Moore. Cody, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, it was almost worst to first for you, but worst to second. Still pretty impressive. After starting in the back here tonight, you were able to work your way up to the field. You're really smooth running really well. And when we saw the green flag pit stops happen, you kind of came in the middle of everybody, and that kind of helped you because you didn't have older tires and you didn't have newer tires. You were kind of in the middle, were in between having newer tires and having good track position, so that really helped you out, and you were just able to, you couldn't really get up to Nudie, but still had a fast car. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
It was a lot of fun. I actually like these longer races. I'm really proud of my teammates on the strategy. If basically if you were on the team here and you didn't get involved in anything, we were in the top 5 there. 1, 2, 3 for YXU. But yeah, the strategy just kind of worked out that we knew we had to stop 5 times, and there were 4 sets of tires, so we knew that 15 laps was kind of our magic number. And caution fell on lap 15, so we knew we were just good to go all out to the end. And I think Cameron tried to save a set of tires, or else he would have easily been first or second.
Now, I do want to ask, what happened? Why'd you end up starting in the back?
I didn't read the message that qualifying was only 5 minutes.
Ah, I got you.
So I missed the driver's meeting.
I thought it was because of a bet.
No, that was last week.
That was last week. Got you.
Yeah, so I've had to start last 2 weeks in a row.
Got you. Well, still, you've done good both weeks, so maybe you got to starting last every race.
Yeah, this is double points tonight too, and this is the first time I think I've finished one of these in the top 20, so that'll really help. Yeah, it was just like I said, I just kind of got into a groove there and had speed early and moved up to the field, and then didn't have any incidents the whole night.
Got you. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Of course, I want to start out by thanking YXU Racing, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty impressive. Feels good to do that. I want to thank Stephen Black for my paint tonight. He always does a really good job. Skylord Graphics, Michael Falk Designs. That's another one you should hit up if you want cool paints. I got to thank first and foremost my family, my beautiful wife Maggie for letting me do this, my kids, everyone on the Logan and Cody show who's been working so hard with minimal content because Brian ruined memes and GIFs, making the league better. For more on that, listen to the Logan and Cody show this week. And finally, thank you, Atlee, for killing it like you always do and doing these broadcasts. We really enjoy it.
Definitely had fun here up in the booth tonight. And again, congratulations on the runner-up finish, Cody. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, take care, bud.
Yep, you too. And let's pull in now your winner from Santa Rosa, California, Brian Nudie. Brian, this is Atlee in the Intensity Broadcasting booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, 2 in a row for Mr. Brian Nudie. I mean, well, man, you had such an awesome race, and your pit strategy was really what, helped secure your win. Pit strategy played a huge role in tonight's event, and I noticed that you were coming in a little bit earlier compared to Austin there on those green flag pit stops, and that ended up getting you out to the lead, and then you were coming in before Cody, and that really just helped you because you had the track position over the rest of the field. Even if you had older tires, that just really helped you. And I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Oh, this race was awesome. Definitely a long one, that's for sure. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody, and thanks for sticking with us up here in the booth. Definitely, it was awesome battling on early on with Cameron. Just kind of sucked that he didn't take tires on one of those pit stops. I felt like me and him were definitely the class of the field between the two of us, and definitely would have came down to the very last couple laps on who was going to win that one. But his screw up is kind of just handed me the win. I mean, I was up front, the majority of the race, but definitely that secured the win for sure. And got to give a shout out to Cody and Will, all YXU top 3. It's pretty awesome.
I know. I mean, you had 2 of your other teammates join you in the top 3, and then we saw Willems get a top 5. I mean, how does it feel to just have such a successful team here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series?
Well, Colin did a great job recruiting everybody, getting everybody on this team. We only had 2 bad showings, but they both got involved in incidences early on with Isaiah and Nick Mather. But other than that, the rest of the team did a great job. And it was just it was an awesome night. Definitely had the speed. I was able to save the tires, and Cody had the pit strategy.
I also think we may have to give you a new nickname because you've won 2 of the last 5 races, and we only have 1 more race into the playoffs. How would you feel us nicknaming you Late Season Nudie?
Hey, I'm all for that, but until I can close in one of these championships and finish second, I think I will forever be named the bridesmaid.
The bridesmaid. I got you. Well, maybe this will be the year for you to pick up your first chip. Let's see what can happen. You never know. But before we let you go, Nudie, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Oh, yeah, I got to give a shout-out to you guys up in the booth. You guys did an awesome job. This long one sticking with us. Got to give a shout-out to my beautiful wife for letting me do this. Got to give a shout-out to all my teammates and team motor, Colin Willems, Cody Moore, Will Witt, Nick Mather, Isaiah Gill, and also got to give a shout-out to everybody else that showed up in the league, the other admins, Sylvan Seguin, Stephen Black, just everybody in this league. It's really turned into an awesome league. We're having great green flag runs. Everybody's getting better at road course racing. It's just it's turned out to be awesome. And then, as always, gotta thank Gill's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest. And also next week, tune in. I'll have a new episode dropping on Sloppy Seconds, which is next week. But don't forget to watch last week's episode of Sloppy Seconds, where I had the Wright brothers on. And this next coming week, I'm looking for a guest, but I'm actually trying to get Dustin Dean.
Now, that would definitely be one of the best episodes to tune into Nudie's new podcast, so make sure to check that out. So, again, congratulations on the win, Nudie. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, thanks, buddy. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Well, that is going to do it here for tonight's event. Thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch the broadcast. I know it was a bit of a long one, so thank you to everybody for sticking with us. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers and 1,000 subscribers on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure to check out our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls on there. In fact, we actually dropped a poll today, so make sure to respond to it. And make sure to go to intensitybroadcasting.com. That is our merchandise store. You can pick up some shirts, hats, mugs, and mouse pad stickers from your favorite broadcaster and all the amazing leagues that we broadcast. I'm Matt Lee Atman. We should, on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.